plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Boyd Farm Outfitters, and we're all about equipping the modern farmer. Our team is Nebraska's go-to for precision planting, SurePoint liquid systems, green eye spot spray, and more. So whether you're considering an equipment upgrade, adding new tech, or just need a trained eye to service what you have, check us out. Creep on us at BoydFarmOutfitters.com and get connected with our team of experts. We're excited to help you find what's next. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
Dinner and a movie? You've done that. Arbor Axe House has a date night deal that really hits. This Valentine's Day, enjoy a special rate that includes an hour of axe throwing for two, plus drinks and koozies. Reserve your lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House, on the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
You're listening to Walk the Herd on 93.7 The Ticket, where unheard issues get brought to light and every perspective counts. Here are your hosts, Rebecca Pearson and Aniko Renee.
All right, welcome in to Walk the Herd. It is Sunday night. We are post-basketball game. Don't switch that dial. We have a great show for you. This is Rebecca Pearson and Aniko Renee. Walk the Herd. And before we get cracking, can you hear me okay, Mr. Bachhoven? Because I feel like I can't hear myself. So, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Excellent. So first of all, shout out to the Huskers. They just got finished playing Illinois. And while we didn't win, it was a great competitive game. I guess Brink Mass maybe a little bit off his game. But for the most part, it was an excellent show. They packed PPA. It was a whiteout. What else we got to say about the game there? Bachhoven, you just spent an hour and a half talking about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, would rather have won, but at least, good effort put in. Can't win them all, and hopefully they'll be back out there next Saturday. Get a chance to.
Yeah, fantastic. So hopefully if you're listening to us, you might be in your car still making your way home. And then next week we got the Super Bowl, right? Yep. And who's playing in the Super Bowl?
We have Seahawks and Patriots this year.
Yeah, which is a very different kind of a Super Bowl. We don't normally see either one of them on a regular basis, right?
Not for a while. I mean,
Not
the
for a while,
Patriots
yeah.
have the most appearances all time from the Tom Brady
From
run.
Tom Brady era, yes, right.
But they're back, and it's been, I think it's over a decade for the Seahawks. So
Right.
they're back.
Right, long time. So, okay, Nico, what are you thinking for the Super Bowl? Who's your pick?
Anybody but the Patriots. No, I'm actually specifically just rooting for Bad Bunny. That's who I'm rooting for.
Oh, me too. You know, I
Can't
saw
wait.
him on Stephen Colbert the other night. Very likable dude.
Definitely. I've been on top of my Duolingo, just making sure I can sing along perfectly and have my flag ready to go.
Yeah. He's, I have not followed pop culture, but I've followed the drama with Bad Bunny, and I had never seen him in an interview. And I was watching the Stephen Colbert show, which I absolutely love. And I was just super impressed. I mean, they didn't do a long conversation with him, but they did the Stephen Colbert questionnaire where he asked like 10 different questions, which I love. And he was funny. He was pleasant. He was just, very, very cool. I really liked him. So that was fantastic. Okay. How you doing today? We have Addis Browne in the studio. Welcome, Addis.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, that's great. We're going to get to you in a second, but let me check in with Aniko. What's been going on, Aniko?
I'm excited that this is our, it's Black History Month. What a great way to start the month with a great show. I'm super excited, especially about our topic. So I've just been prepping and preparing and trying to think of all the things. So I'm ready when you guys are.
Okay, outstanding. Well, Addis and I had a chance to chat before the show just a little bit, and I wonder if she'll let me put her on the spot with Black History Month, because you made a comment with the Black History Month that I would love for you to share, because it is often a common comment. So
the one about white people.
Yes, the one about white people. Yes, we're diving right in. This is Walk the Herd at 93.7 The Ticket.
My gosh. My husband is white, and this morning we were talking about. I said, "Oh my gosh, it's Black History Month," and he didn't say it. I just want to put this out there. I said, I'd be okay if white people wanted to have a White History Month, because if they had a chance to connect with, the German ancestry and Irish and Czech and European, I think that would just connect them to their roots too. And that's just as important as, you
Sure.
connected to your roots, as important it is for me and mine. So I think that would benefit the United States.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to that, Aniko?
I think that it would certainly quiet one of the biggest, pushbacks when you say Black History Month. It's almost objected to, like it's not for everyone. And it's like, well, what if we had one? Well, there is a lot of history that's taught 365 about white history. However, that doesn't get into ancestry exactly like you're saying, like really touching down roots and what culture they do have and what makes them, so that we're not just grouping them all together as white,
Yeah. I think it's a very interesting concept. And Jake, we might get you in on this one too. Growing up, it was white history. I think this is why perhaps the other side of the reaction of that comment is, are you kidding me? We've been teaching you white history for thousands of years, but we could teach white history a different way, right? If we had a white history
I think white history, the history that's been taught, is essentially just lacking the whole history.
Yeah.
And it's not really just white history that made up of America, but if we had the whole context, then I think things would start making sense to all of us. So
Sure.
White history, and even with Black History Month, Black people aren't necessarily 100% African.
Black. Yeah.
So to be exactly, to be able to celebrate as a Black person. Yeah, as a Black person, to be able to celebrate, and if you're biracial or mixed of, all different races, that's the beautiful part of being Black as well. So
yeah,
white history can be in Black history as well. Okay, everyone should win.
Absolutely. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. Certainly, I get why Black history is set up where it is, and Black History Month and all of that, but. It is interesting. It is all, I think sometimes you just assume, you kind of know people, but like you said, you can kind of get through genealogy and stuff. And it is always kind of interesting. I still have to, I don't exactly know my own. So
right.
I don't know. I'd be kind of lost on those days.
You know, and go ahead.
That's important, Jake. You should know your own.
No,
Just
seriously, I miss
Nico,
World
maybe we
Fairs.
could have a show on genealogy. What do you think?
Definitely. I miss having the world fairs as a kid in school where everyone kind of had to find something about themselves and present a food or a game. Like it broadened my horizons so much. And I didn't just look at my classmates as white or brown or anything anymore. It was like, this is who they are. It's super cool.
Yeah, and I think that would do actually a lot for kind of moving the thought process forward because the white people in this country have all kinds of crazy backgrounds too, right? There's not really anything that is just white. And we had Miss Miki Montgomery on here. I don't know if you know Miss Miki, awesome lady. And she's got a Native background, and she was just sharing that her dad is very specific about being Native as opposed to Native American, right? So when you get to who's white in America as if it's the entitled group, and you have to talk about the natives. And that was a learning for me, right? Where I think we're always trying to be proper and say Native Americans, never mind Indians, just keeping up with the times on terminology and how you refer to people, how people prefer to be referred.
Also important.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And how they identify.
Black
And
with
any conversation has to be two ways. Like if one person is just talking at someone and doesn't get, to present their perspective, the whole point of the show, you're kind of landing on deaf ears and leaving someone isolated. So I absolutely agree. Like we just need to talk more about each other, period.
Well, this is Walk the Herd with Aniko, Renee, and Addison Browne. And don't forget that you can be a part of this conversation. Hope we've fired you up already between Huskers, Super Bowl, white history, black history. We've got a great topic on hair, which is good for everyone. So you guys out there that have hair, you guys out there that don't have hair, the women out there that are experiencing no hair, and those of us who have hair, right? We're all going to be all over the place, but we want you to participate. So it's 402-464-5685. Feel free to chat in on the Sartor Heyman text line, to call in on the Honda Lincoln hotline. You can drop us a chat in YouTube. Jake will be monitoring in case you guys send in something you want to comment. And hey, any perspective counts here. So if you're just joining the show for the first time, Walk the Herd is about where every perspective is heard and where every perspective counts, and particularly where the unheard are heard. So the concept of the show is that Aniko and I are trying to bring perspectives that the average Nebraskan might not hear on a day-to-day basis. And with that, you and I met at the event, the skateboard park. We had a pop-up skateboard park here with Mike Smith. And if you haven't seen the ticket recently, stay tuned for next Friday. We have quite the skating event going on inside the four walls of the ticket. You got to come down and see it, get some coffee. But that's how Addis Browne and I met. So why were you here at the pop-up skate park?
Also, that was so cool.
Thank you.
That you guys allow these kids to come in and just skateboard inside of the main hall.
Yeah.
And the place was packed, and this room was packed. It was amazing.
It was packed.
So Mike Smith has been a friend of mine for 15 years probably. And I watched him. We met at a church when he was a youth pastor.
Okay.
I worked at the church, and we've just been friends ever since. So I've been part of the journey of him opening up the Bay, and his wife Amber is my very best friend, and so we just go all the way back. And now it's so awesome to see that my daughter, who's 12, she goes and hangs out at the Bay, and I'm, beauty, fashion. I'm just a little girly girl, but my daughter is all about skateboarding and music, and she's super creative. So just so cool to see a friend who started something for Lincoln and the creative and the quote misfits, and just, seeing that place be such a safe space for my daughter comes full circle.
So much power in the misfits, right? That's a whole nother topic we could have Aniko for.
Absolutely. I have an alt community kid myself over there drawing right now as we speak. So long border. So I'm here for it. We're here.
Love it.
Well, and this is such an important topic for me, to bring all perspectives to the table. We are the best when we have representation from everywhere, because there's so much hidden creativity and especially people who think differently. I'm married to one of those folks.
who thinks differently, but they're pushing the envelope. They're forcing us to think differently, and that makes us better because we are thinking outside of our own boxes, right? And also just appreciating what someone brings to the table. In general, we don't all want to think alike. Otherwise, we're going to keep doing the same stuff, and there's much more to be had from all of that. So you have a very interesting job, and one of the many reasons we have you here, you are a small business owner here in town, and you do something with hair. So first of all, just kind of tell us how you got to Nebraska and who you are, and then let's talk about your business.
All right. We'll go all the way back to I was adopted when I was 6 years old from Ethiopia, and my parents they live in Lincoln. I have 2 biological brothers of my parents. They're both severely disabled, developmentally disabled. And then my parents adopted my sister. She's adopted from Kansas, and she was 3 days old when they adopted her. And then I came around, I was 6 years old and she was 8 years old at that time. So they are
spectacular.
Shout out to Mike and Susan.
Yes,
Browne.
absolutely. Shout out to your parents.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they are really incredible people and the biggest advocates for people who are disabled. And right now with DHHS and all the things that are happening with our state, they're losing a lot of funding for my brothers. And so they're just the premium caretakers and very involved in that world. So, So my dad was an entrepreneur. My mom stayed at home. I grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I wasn't sure what I was going to, I honestly thought I was going to be a teacher or like a missionary. I just thought my world was pretty small. I just hadn't seen much. And my parents could tell I was really creative, and I would always do my friends' hair. And so they said, why don't you go down to College of Hair Design and just tour? And I was like, oh, there's a hair school? Like I didn't even know that was a thing.
How old were you when this happened?
I went to SCC straight out of high school. And so I think it was about 19.
Okay.
And I went to SCC I was thinking like public relations or something with people. And my parents, I think, could tell I was not going to be an academic kid, and college was probably not going to be for me. And so I went to hair school and signed up that day, started in 2019 or 2000. God, not 2019. What year is that?
That was just a few years ago. Yeah.
2009.
Yeah.
So I've been doing hair for nearly 16 or 17 years. And so when I straight out of hair school, I got a job at Fernando's, which is like a classic Lincoln salon. They'd been around for 50 years probably by now. And I worked at a commission salon for 6 years. And then by the end of that, I thought I want to open up my own little place. And at that time, a lot of people were starting to go into booth rental. I think that was a pretty new idea. Before that, most people were just, you get out of hair school and you work for somebody.
Right.
So this was the age of like boss babes and like everyone wanting to be their own boss. And so at that time, I had my daughter, and she was probably a year old, and I was 25, 26. And this is where like ignorance is bliss, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. You just think you can go do it.
Right.
And so that was the best part. I just thought I could go do it. So I started my own little place. I rented a salon, or rented a suite. And that's where I learned about managing business, managing my own money. Before it's commission, and now 100% is mine, and trying to figure out how to,
what to do with it all.
What to do with these funds, because you got to pay your bills.
Yeah.
You got to pay taxes. You got to buy your products. So I think that's a really hard place for creatives, because we think we can be very artistic and these things come naturally, but the business side does not always come naturally to artists. And so I think being able to talk with my dad, who is an entrepreneur, and my mom, who's just really intelligent, they helped just probably give me the container, and the knowledge to start thinking through these, scenarios that I was in. So did that for about 3 years. And then I thought I wanted to open up a salon downtown. And the very first experience I had at Fernando's is a very like communal salon. I was the youngest one there by 20, 30 years probably. most people were, they had been clients of that salon for at least 40, 30 years.
Wow.
And so there was a lot of perms and color, and the environment was everyone knew each other, and everyone was talking to each other. It was just like that classic, salon
It's
that
like
you
Steel
see
Magnolias is
Exactly.
what's coming to mind.
I was just going to say the one that you see in the movies.
Yes.
People getting perms and talking to each other. So I wanted to kind of create that because I really missed when you're renting a room in a salon and it's just you and one client all day, you really miss having that. I mean, I really missed having the full salon experience, working with other stylists as well. So I opened up a salon up the street on 11th and M, kind of across from College of Hair Design and up the street a little bit. And I had 6 chairs, 5 people renting chairs from me, and I was the 6th. So I was still doing hair and then managing a salon. And I did that I opened the year before COVID. So that was very eye-opening.
Wow.
Never had managed people before in my life. Never before
Winging
gone through a pandemic.
Right?
Yeah, winging it. And then that year I had gotten married. We bought a house. It was just like a lot of newness. And at that time, I do well under pressure. I like new. I like just survival mode, and so I think it was just the grit of getting through it is what got me through it, But I would say about 3 years in, I was not having a lot of fun. I did not enjoy managing people. There's different personalities and the way other people want to run their business and, just things that were coming up that I am a recovering people pleaser. And I had to, just try to balance that and learn how to do this at the same time. And it just was not, I felt like this isn't the path I want to go down. And so as people's rent or their lease contract was kind of ending, I just didn't fill those chairs up again. And I wanted to take a pause and to think about where I was going and why I was doing what I was doing. So that takes us up to about 2023, 24, I think. I just existed in my salon. I think it was by the end of all that, it was just me in there and, back to, okay, just me and my clients and let's just keep things easy. And that was one of the best moments for my nervous system and myself. I finally gave myself time to decompress from the survival mode that I had been for about 15 years as a single mom and as a person who was opening up businesses and wanting to expand, getting married. And throughout my whole 20s, it was a lot of like traumatic relationships. And like I had been engaged before and found out he was cheating on me. And like, it was just, it was just a lot.
Too many life lessons in one.
Oh my gosh. And I never stopped to like, just be like, what the, am I okay? And so I finally gave myself a chance to just pause and to not do anything and to let my nervous system come like back to balance, back to center. And I'm so glad I did that. And I think as an entrepreneur, we feel like we always need to keep it moving and we don't give ourselves a chance to just like, not even ask the question of what's next, but just sit with it. And so I think there was a couple years where I was just sitting with it and, just being a human, just being a little human. And then that led me to wanting to move to my new space that I'm at, which I moved in August. And it's just a smaller space. It's very like vintage looking in there, very calming. Everyone walks in and they're just like, this feels so you, but also it just feels like very peaceful. And it had a different energy from my little downtown place. So I think I'd entered a new season that just felt like I learned so much in the first 15 years of doing hair and then giving myself the opportunity to reflect. And then now I'm at a place where I love what I do. I love doing hair and I am excited for whatever is in the future, but I know what I don't want to do. And I'm excited for whatever, comes out of that.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
you did a great job to summarize a whole bunch of things. What Aniko, I got a couple of questions. Anything on your mind?
Well, first and foremost, like Becky just said, you did a great job summing up what early 20s and 30s and just life looks like for a lot of us now. I think there was this picturesque, you know, marriage, kids, buy a house, and sure, that happens, but a lot more happens with a lot more X factors. And to see and hear that you are where you are is very encouraging and gives me a chance to go, whew, okay, we're on the right track. So I appreciate that. How do you feel about your salon being a safe space for other people now, like a place to allow their central nervous system to decompress? How does that make you feel?
That's a really good intuitive question, because that is something that I don't think I quite took into account when I first opened. You know, I wanted the high energy buzz, but I think at the time that most people are looking for a peaceful place to land, I was too. And so just the intimate conversations that I have with my clients every day, which I think we'll probably get into some of the stories that we get to talk about. I think that's only possible because where I'm at and what I can provide to them, and B, just people feeling like we talk a lot about how important safe, like what are they called? Third places. Yeah. And for adults, the ability for your hairstylist to be a third safe space that's a real privilege to be able to provide to other humans that are in my life. So yeah, it feels really good to be able to provide that.
That's a beautiful thing. And it almost makes you go like, thank goodness I went through the things I went through so that I can relate to so many different aspects and so many different clients.
Well, yeah, that's a huge part of it is I think I looked back and through my 20s and early 30s, and I kind of felt angry at myself or angry at other people or grief or, negative emotions. Why did I choose the things that I did? And was I rushing too much? And why was I in survival mode? But really, I think everything we go through is always exactly what we need, even if it is painful, because as we know, through a kind of tension and contrast, we get growth and parts of ourselves that we, that finally get a chance to evolve. So through that, I've learned to really be able, that I can relate with other people's stories, no matter where they're at, and to be able to provide, I think, as a woman, to a nurturing, safe space. And I think I am very grateful for everything I went through, for sure.
That's awesome. And do you think you kind of fall in love again with doing hair the more it becomes your own?
Yeah, for sure. As a creative person, I think I would be very bored if I didn't have something that felt like a challenge in my work. And I do a lot of curly hair, and so that feels like a challenge. But I think the day-to-day, if I was talking to people about the weather or football or Huskers, it's like, that's so boring to me. Sorry, Husker people. I love the Huskers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, to be able to talk about real life stuff is really, I get a lot of pleasure out of that every day.
Great. All right, we got to take a break, Aniko. So why don't we do that, and then we're going to come back locked and loaded. We have all the questions you have ever wanted to ask a stylist about hair. We're going to do after the break. This is Walk the Herd, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
You're listening to Walk the Herd on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Rebecca Pearson.
Welcome back. Somehow we lost the host of Rebecca Pearson and Aniko, Renee. So, Mr. Baca, you'll have to locate the file that has the co-hosts going on here. So okay. Here we are, Walk the Herd. Sunday night, we're recovering from the basketball game. We're having a great conversation with Addis Browne about hair and everything you ever wanted to know about owning a salon, but also all the questions we ever wanted to ask about hair. And we're going to get into this. If you want to participate or send in your question, you may do that on 402-464-5685. You can chat, drop us a chat in the YouTube. And if you're listening to this on recording, drop us a chat anyway. We'll see it, and we'll try to get answers to your questions. Okay. So here we are. Aniko, I'm going to let you kind of take over and ask every question we ever wanted to know about hair, or at least all the ones you wanted to know about hair.
Yeah, I'm excited. So before we left off, we were talking about, doing curly hair specifically. And I was curious, do you think that the sentiment of good hair and bad hair actually exists, or is it kind of like a construct or criticism we need to break free from?
Yeah, we definitely need to break free from that.
Control the hair we get, right?
100%. Yeah. I don't know if that's something that happened within like Black culture specifically, or because, Eurocentric beauty standards, but like all hair is perfect. And then even with curly hair, it's like the frizz, or, people of all curly types have such an issue with frizz. And it's like, curly hair is inevitably frizzy. Like, let's embrace that too.
Absolutely. And there's nothing, like you said, inherently wrong with that. It's just learning to take care of it. And part of that journey for me was during quarantine, I had to do the big chop. I had worn my hair flat iron and straightened for a majority of my life. And that term's kind of getting more popular on TikTok. But I think some of our viewers might not know what that is. So can you tell us more about what the big chop means and how it can be scary, empowering, a little bit of both?
Oh, I think every woman should have a big chop, no matter what texture their hair is, because to make the choice to get rid of your hair and to just rely on your yourself as the beauty standard. It's amazing to see how much of our hair impacts our identity and our confidence. But a big chop is when you cut off all your hair. You could still leave an inch or two or whatever. It doesn't matter how short, but just the idea of cutting it all off, I think it's really liberating. I've shaved my head 3 different times. Like, it's just hair, it grows back. But yeah, some women do it after they've flat ironed and heat, like killed their hair chemically, coloring and bleaching that kills the hair. So you can do it post, for a reason to just cut it all off and start over. Or some women just choose to rock that as a style.
Yep, definitely. I did it for years and I never felt more naked, but more in touch with myself than when it was. And it was interesting to me to then have healthy hair, to start from scratch and then learn about what we call, protective styles. So when I go on vacation, getting braids or twists or putting a wig on from time to time, do you get a lot of clients that do protective styles, or is it more natural styling?
Yeah, my clients are all natural. I don't have patience to braid.
Nice.
We have so many good braiders in town that I suggest people to, but protective styles are such a good way to just, care for your hair and give our hair a break too, because wearing it natural, especially if you live in, cold temperaments or even near the ocean, protective styles just gives the hair a pause and from detangling and washing and all of that too. So that's a really, great option to have.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of coaching for natural hair? Like is majority of the clients in Lincoln, is this kind of their first step, or are they already know from resources out there now?
I have a service called the Roots Experience. It's like a 3-hour, educational service. So we cover all the bases of like what, products to use, what your textures are, a good haircut that fits, and then just the day-to-day styling. Like, we just cover anything they want in 3 hours. So that and I don't take new clients anymore. So most of my clients, we just do, a 1 or a 2-hour haircut experience. But I think most people now with social media have learned so much from TikTok and Instagram videos. But there's nothing like having a professional to just like walk you through it. And I think I'm always learning something from my clients, and they're always taking away something from me. So it's a relational curly hair journey for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Having someone in your corner just makes you feel so much more confident from leaving to getting home, because you kind of have that moment of like, uh-oh, now what if not? So I'm sure they appreciate it, and I appreciate that. Becky, do you have any questions you would like to ask?
Oh, yeah, I got tons.
I figured.
White girl, so I got all kinds of questions, but I guess the equivalent of letting it all grow out, we were talking about this before the show, that I used to color my hair. It's been a long time since I permed my hair. My mom used to perm my hair. Freaking scary. I'm sorry. Just like, oh my gosh, really? As a 12, 15-year-old with permed hair?
Yeah.
Oh dear, but it just okay. Anyway, so I let mine all grow out. So this is my natural color or whatever. But yeah, we talk a little bit about, you're obviously passionate about this. Why does somebody like you want to do what you do? What's behind it for you?
Yeah. So as a kid, I always wore my hair curly, and there was, and my mom was white too. So she was told by other Black women, do not let her straighten her hair or relax her hair. So that's kind of what my mom knew. We're not doing that. And so let's see, when I got to hair school is when I first discovered a relaxer. And then from there, we had a lot of fun straightening the hair and wearing it straight and trying to wear it curly, but it looked like ramen noodle hair when I would try to wear my curls. So that was the first step. But I think when it comes to just, people learning their curly hair and trying to embrace it, that curly hair movement was about the same time that I wanted to get back to wearing my hair natural. So it was hair school at that time did not teach anything about how to cut curly hair in its natural state or what products to use or whatever. So 100% of my knowledge is self-taught and from my own experience with my own hair. And really, I am a less is more person. Like there's not like a 12-step, 12 product usage to get this look. It's kind of like I will work with whatever the client wants to do. If they want to use a lot of products, let's do it. If you're just like a one product and go, that works. So my whole spiel when it comes to just hair in general is like, let's just accept and not fight it, Let's work with what we have.
Be you, right?
Yeah.
That's a repeating theme for us, Aniko.
Definitely. And it can even be traumatic in that process, because for me, I have a very sensitive scalp. So getting relaxers, I would have almost like 3rd-degree burns, and my hair would be matted into these burns for a couple weeks after. But it was like, that was easy for my biological mom to do when she didn't have time to do braids, working far away. So it's like, that's so empowering in itself to know, like, accept what it is. And there's so much less fight for sure.
Yeah. And admittedly, curly hair, I do think takes way more effort than straight hair.
Way more product. No, for me.
Way more time, way more detangling, and the truth is, and I always tell my curly clients this, is like, it is a commitment to wear it natural. And I'm not going to shame you if you choose to straighten it or you want to go back to relaxing it or whatever. But like at best, I want people to just, when they want to wear their hair in its natural state, to just feel confident about it, to know that they can, to know that it's beautiful, and to, just feel good about it, just to have that option. But at the end of the day, if somebody wants to wear protective styles or wear it straight or wear a wig, like, kudos to you too.
You both have naturally curly hair, right? I haven't even seen. Aniko's got her straight today. Okay, yeah, but
curly. It's
curly.
Just,
Is it
there's a
curly?
mask in there.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
mask
It
in
just
there
looks long
today.
here. Yeah, I couldn't get the computer to work, so I have to turn around to look and see.
Yeah,
Aniko has gorgeous hair, but it's naturally curly, right? And what is now it's about unheard perspectives for me, right? So these are some of the questions that people like, especially white people. So I just throw myself under the bus here, right?
Let's hear it.
Like,
safe space.
What's it like? Exactly. Psychological safety. What's the pressure from wherever to change your hair when it's naturally curly, being biracial, which Aniko is, Ethiopian background, like you guys are coming in. Where's the pressure come from? Why? Like, share your perspectives if you don't mind.
You go first, Nico.
Okay. For me, I will say I'm guilty of, now that I do wear my hair natural, when I have a job interview, or am intending, some of the boards I used to sit on, I would slick it down into a bun and wear it back majority of the time, unless it was with the NAACP or PFLAG, like very open groups, because it's almost like for some of the older generation, I will say, there's a misconception that unrelaxed hair is an unrelaxed person or, not professional. So it took years for the Army and armed forces to recognize that curly hair is maintained and clean and acceptable hair. So there's kind of still that stagnant water there when it comes to that. So I'm still trying to work my way up in the past 5-6 years now of like, my intelligence can speak for itself. Like what's under here, my brain, that is undeniable no matter what my hair looks like. So that's what I find, I think.
Yeah, it really, I think the pressure goes 1930s and 40s, when the relaxer first came out, and you get like the Hollywood waves and then into the 50s where it's kind of like the prim and proper housewife. And yeah, the idea, and it just women in general, the pressure for us to look perfect and look put together and sleek and shiny and smooth looks a little bit more submissive probably than a big old afro or frizzy hair, it's back to that psychological
and were there movies like, there's so much of our image
media
comes from the media, right? And who knows, I don't know, right? But just
Foxy Browne, I'm sure,
Yeah, I'm thinking Sanford and Son. Sorry, I'm just going there for who knows what reason. The TV black families that the white people like me and Jake grew up with, right? And we talk about this, Leave It to Beaver and all these other things, So Jake and I both grew up in Leave It to Beaver families, you get your impressions from those places. And, the women in those shows were sporting afros, right? It was a very natural, and the Jeffersons, sorry, I'm just doing all the wrong things tonight, but I'm wondering how much of it is affected by what people saw.
I think it was like so prim and proper, and then the 60s and 70s is all about natural hair and the civil rights movement, and
and there's the show hair, right? You remember the show hair, the play called Hair?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so there's
from the 60s.
From the 60s, there's a point where people started to resist the prim and proper, especially for women, and kind of be more about embracing and accepting. And then, you get into perms in the 80s and big frizzy hair. It's like you can kind of see the acceptance and freedom that women in general have been able to have. And then for Black women, even more so. But we've just had to still fit those boxes of what was like acceptable in those ways. And so I think it becomes even harder because when you go to and I've never worked really in corporate America, so I've never had to like form into
I did. I could talk all about
sleek bun. Yeah.
I could talk all about it.
Yeah. It's like I have always been able to be free with my bigger curly hair. And I don't know what it's like to have sat in an interview being a Black woman and then also being told that you're like, okay, we'll give you the job, but your hair needs to be straightened or blown out. And I know even white women have had that experience with their waves and curls. So
or just our hair in general. Like there is a whole set of
You're
stigma that goes with that. It's just, I would say, not the challenge that you guys have experienced, right? On top of everything else. So, all right, we got to take another break, Aniko. Good grief. It's gone by fast. All right. We will take a break. We're going to come back and finish up our conversation about hair and studios and all kinds of fun stuff. So walk the herd. We'll be right back.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, to brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Just got new tires put on my car today. You did? I didn't see you leave the office. I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off when they were done. You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service? That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Walk the Herd on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Rebecca Pearson.
It's Walk the Herd, and it is Rebecca and Aniko at 93.7 The Ticket, where every perspective counts and the unheard are heard. We're talking about unheard perspectives about hair, curly hair, straight hair. We haven't talked too much about men's hair, which I'm sure is a whole nother story in and of itself, but we did decide that Jake has straight hair, but he used to have long hair, and he used to actually put some product in it and like soup it all up, probably when you were going out on dates when you were younger. Is that right, Jake?
Yeah, this is maybe back to my middle school days.
Oh, middle school? Okay, then you had like the grease or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine that. Yeah, my brother had that too. Oh my gosh. So much fun. We could talk about hair forever. I thought it would be fun, Aniko, if we let Addis talk a little bit about what's her role as a stylist / therapist, or, you know, being in someone's life and the stories she hears, and what, you know, I think we all would want to know, what's it like to be at the other end of the chair and not in the chair, and why do you keep doing it?
Yeah, I keep doing it because I'm entertained every single day by these stories I hear. And I don't know if it's just my personality, but I'm not a person that feels the need to take on other people's stuff. I'm good at listening, but not like taking it home with me. So I've removed myself from the idea of being a therapist because I don't feel like the need to walk them through stuff. But we're just talking, and just as much as they feel like they, you know, might have had therapy with me, I really do feel like I get it with them, you know? And that's why I feel like these kind of situations are so fun, because if you're opening up and talking with people, like, you learn just as much as they feel like they can learn.
What's something you feel like you've learned from your clients?
I have learned that we all, like, when you think you're alone facing something, you're not. Like, I've never met a single person who was sharing their story and it was like, perfect, like, life is really great, you know, my marriage is great. Like, everyone has a hard marriage, everyone has had hard times parenting, everyone has hard times at work, you know. So I think I've learned that we are really a lot more alike than we are, you know, different.
Great message, Aniko. We share that a lot. Your dad shares that a lot, I think, right? We're all way more alike than we're different. And I think it's a wonderful message.
Absolutely. And it's refreshing because it's very easy to feel isolated, especially after COVID. I think community, I said it before, has become harder to come across. So even in just being one-on-one feels like a giant community. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Okay, so over the break, we only got like a minute left and we're going to be out of here, which is crazy. But Addis was sharing that she has a camera in the studio that lets you look at follicles. And I asked her, why does she have a camera? So tell us about that service on our way out here.
Yeah, I think about the time COVID happened, this new thing started rupturing called head spa. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, Aniko, but
yes, I love it. I love to watch them.
Okay, yes. So I started watching head spa videos on TikTok and was like, wait, I could do this. I could offer this. And it's been a really therapeutic, different option or offering from, I don't do color, I just offer haircuts. And so it's a nice option for me as a hairstylist because I put this little eye mask on them and a little lip mask, and they can't talk to me and I can't be their therapist. They just get to relax through the 1.5-hour service. So I love it.
That's great. Yeah. All right. What's the name of your place?
Roots Collective.
All right. And you are taking some appointments for the head spa?
Just for the head spa.
Okay. Because if you want to be on the waiting list, there isn't one for this amazing lady doing hair. You're just going to have to take some tips from her being here with Aniko and Rebecca on Walk the Herd. It was great to have you, Addis. Thanks for sharing your perspective on hair, and we'd love to have you back sometime.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast. Thank you, Aniko, too.
Great.
No problem. Thank you.
Yep. We will see you next week. This is Walk the Herd at 93.7 The Ticket.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we